Welcome to Rise and Shine Daily Business Tech Boost with me, Charly Leetham. If you're a small business owner looking to simplify technology and get real, actionable advice from someone with 35 years of IT experience, you're in the right place. Every episode, I'll dive into tools and systems like email, CRM, marketing and tracking, and break them down into bite-sized tips you can use right away. Your time is valuable, so let's get straight to the point. It's time to work smarter, not harder. Rise and Shine. It's your daily dose of business tech inspiration with me, Charly Leetham. Episode number 509, and we're going to be talking about passwords and secure passwords and how bloody annoying they are and what you can do to try and make them easier to remember. As the world gets more and more complex, or as the online world gets more and more complex and more dangerous, and I'm going to put that in inverted commas, dangerous for you, you need to ensure that your passwords are secure. Now, I don't just mean keeping them secret. I mean that your passwords are such that they are more difficult to guess. Now, as with all security things, I need to give this a caveat. Nothing is 100% secure. It doesn't matter how good you think something is. It doesn't matter how many actions you take, how many countermeasures you take. There is always the possibility that someone is going to get through them. Something is going to get through them. I like using the statement, you use build a better mousetrap, the mouse just gets smarter. They work a way around it. And security, particularly web security, online security, is a bit like that. So what I'm going to say to you today is good advice. It's advice you should take, not because I'm giving it to you, but because it is best practice. But it's also something that you need to remember that, first of all, you do need to change your passwords regularly. If you are online all the time, well, no, not even if you're online all the time, once a month, go and change your passwords. I know it's a pain in the neck. And I'll give you a hint on how you can remember the passwords once you've changed them. But you should be changing your passwords regularly, and you should be making them more difficult to guess. You should be making them, I hate to say it, longer and difficult to guess. Now, what does that mean? I am sure you've all seen the meme where someone says, "What's your password?" And they've said it's Snow White, sleepy, grumpy, happy, dopey, sneezy, doc, and Marilyn Monroe. And they look at the person and they say, what? Why is that your password? It's a long password. Well, it said to use 7 characters and a symbol. Yeah, okay, it's a bad joke, but I love it because it's so indicative of where we're at with online security. So when they say 7 characters, what they mean is 7 letters, 7 numbers, so a character, an alphanumeric character, a letter or a number, and a symbol, meaning, the pound sign or the hash key if you're a Brit, dollar, percentage, ampersand, the asterisk key. They're the symbols. Now, creating random passwords, passwords that have got random letters and numbers and characters in them or symbols in them, they're really hard to remember. I don't remember them. They can be 5 letters long, and I've forgotten them immediately because they're just random. They don't gel with me. I do a lot of pattern recognition. So for me, those sorts of things don't gel with me because there's no pattern to them. And that's part of the idea, is that there's no pattern to them, so they're harder to guess. However, there is a way around this. For those of us that are like that and would like to be able to create more difficult passwords, but still have them be easy to remember for ourselves, I'm going to talk to you about using things called passphrases instead of passwords. Now, you can use those two terms interchangeably. They can be a passphrase or it can be a password. It doesn't really matter. The idea is that it is something secure and something that you will remember. So if I was to say to you, your password is, the example I've got here is B, capital B, $7, Z, capital A, L, P, period sign, and then we go and talk about a few things. I say to you, what was that password I gave you? You're not going to remember it. The likelihood of you remembering it is going to be very, very low. But if I was to say to you, your passphrase is blue monkey pizza, exclamation point, bang, 2025, and the B and the M and the P are capitalized. So it's capital blue B for blue, capital P for capital M for monkey, capital P for pizza, blue monkey pizza, exclamation point, 2025. And then we go off and talk about things, and we do a whole heap of things, and I come back to you and say, what was that passphrase I gave you? And you're more likely to remember it. You may not remember it entirely, but you've got more chance of recalling it and recalling it correctly, because it's a passphrase and it means something. But it's a nonsense phrase. It's got no concept in the way we would talk about things in our language, but it works. So I really, really, really love passphrases as a way of doing things. And I often use passphrases when I am doing when I'm doing things for people and I've got to set up passwords and I've got to send them their password. I try not to send them a random password. Occasionally I have to, but I try not to send them a random password. I try to send them something that is personal but guessable. So something else that you might consider is a line from a favorite song, quote, or your memory, and then modify it slightly. You'd have to remember how you've modified it, of course, but easier to remember that than it is to remember the whole thing. For example, you might have a phrase like, I love coffee at 6 a.m. So that's got all the spaces in it. It's a sentence. But instead, it becomes, I love, L-U-V, coffee, ampersand, 6 a.m. Do you see how you've taken that and you've made it something indistinguishable, really? I mean, you can look at it and say, yeah, I love coffee at 6 a.m., sure. But it's indistinguishable, and it's still random enough that that guessing it is going to be hard, that even using password crackers is going to make it more difficult to find. So they'll get there eventually. If you give them enough time, they will get there eventually. But it's something that you're going to it's something that is easy for you to remember. So using passphrases is a great way of keeping your passwords secure and keeping them and remembering them. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. That happens a lot. So we've talked about why we would use a passphrase instead of just a random password, random letters and characters and symbols. We've spoken about that. We've spoken about why a passphrase is important. We've spoken about how you could create them. So think about the things that you value the most, that are most important to you, that are personal to you, and start creating passphrases out of it. I've got to say, my dad has a passphrase that he uses. I can't remember it. He tells me it when he needs my help, he'll give it to me, and I'm like, okay, cool. And then I forget it because it doesn't mean anything to me. To me, that his passphrase is just random letters and numbers, but it means something to him and he remembers it all the time. Every time I ask him, you see, it's his password. He knows what it is. Yes, we have to change it. Now let's talk about changing your passwords every month. That's really important. I say every month, regularly. Don't just assume because you've set a passphrase that is long, well, not long, that is strong and difficult to guess, that it's going to remain secure. There is too much going on out in the world around phishing, around getting your personal information, around social engineering, that makes it more likely, that's what I'm trying to say, it makes it more likely that they will guess your password. They will find a way of finding out what that passphrase is. So you do need to change it regularly. I am going to caution against making your password something like 2025, 2025. That's a great way to start, but don't then go and make it 2035 or 2026 or 2027. You do need to start changing those around. I've got some suggestions on that. I'm not going to suggest them here because then that kind of defeats the purpose. But maybe, put a month in there. Maybe put a day in there, the day that you change it. Just some suggestions. So change your password up so that Change your password up regularly. I'd recommend monthly. Perhaps a little less frequently will work. Certainly more frequently would be better. But yeah, you've got to remember it, and you've got to trade off your the utter security against usability and productivity. So I get that. The other way around making sure that you don't forget your passwords is to use a password manager. I have spoken about this previously in other episodes. I am going to come back to it. Not only does a password manager help you set a password, because it can generate most passwords can generate, password managers can generate random passwords. They won't generate passphrases like that, but they can generate random passwords for you and save them. The password managers will save your passwords. It will encrypt the database. It will add two-factor authentication. You must be using two-factor authentication on your password managers in this day and age to your password manager. And then if you get stuck and you can't remember it, or even if you're like me, use it to log into your sites, use it to do single sign-on. Go to your password manager, say, I'm looking for this site, pull it up, hit it, it will log you in. Password managers are great. Make sure you choose a reputable one. Make sure you understand the security that it gives you, and please make sure it enforces two-factor authentication when you log into it. You do not want to have a password manager that only relies on your password getting into it. Too dangerous in this day and age. It's like giving someone the key to the castle, quite literally. What password managers do I recommend? Well, I love Zoho One Auth. It's a fantastic little package. Most of them also will allow you to do the two-factor authentication as part of the password setup, so you don't need to have a two-factor authentication device. I do. I try not to have the two things in the one thing, but it does allow you to do that. So Zoho One Auth is great. I love it. I use it regularly. RoboForm is good. I have used that for years. I've paid for my password manager for years because I understand the importance of it. I also understand the insurance that it gives me. So for me, paying for my password managers is well worth it. And I do run the two because it gives me a backup. Now, I wasn't running two. I ended up moving to a second one and going, I'm just going to maintain the first one. And I do keep them in sync. I add the password to both of them. Just in case I lose access to one, I can go back to the other, or something happens. I've got some backups there. There are others out there. Just be very, very careful of them. There's one around that has been around for years that people often recommend to me and say, we use this, and I won't use it. They've been hacked too many times. I won't use them. I went and deleted my account with them because they'd been hacked 3 times in 8 months or something. You know what? They've become a target. If they're being hacked, they're not looking after their security properly, or something is very, very wrong with the system. So I went and deleted my account. I won't use that particular provider. No, I won't mention who they are. There are others out there that others like as well, and that's fine. Do, by all means, go and investigate them, but do your homework. Make sure you understand the level of security they offer you. Make sure that you understand the level of security that you can put on your own password manager. I guess the one thing that I'll say that I don't recommend is using the password managers built into your browsers. I hate that idea. I am sure they are secure enough, but I hate that idea. I hate that my browser company will remember my password for me, even if it's stored on my computer. I hate it. I want my password manager to be something that is separate, that I can download and move away, that I can move to other people. Yes, you can do it with your browser. It's just not. Someone gets access to your computer and they've got access to your browser, then they will generally get access to the passwords saved in your browser, even if they are encrypted. So I don't recommend it. I really, really, really would suggest that if you are using your password manager on your browser, to change it. That's a personal thing. It's just something that it just leaves me a little cold. Alrighty, so there's some suggestions for you. Use passphrases instead of just passwords. Make them personal to you. Make it the lyrics to a song and change it up a little bit and make it a passphrase. That way you'll remember it. Change them regularly and use a password manager to save them off so that if worse comes to worse and you forget it, you've got access to it. Also, if worse comes to worse and you're incapacitated, at least you can give someone access to it and they can get access to your passwords and manage your business and help keep things going on and all of those things. All right, guys, let me know what you think in the comments wherever you are watching or listening to this video. Please do come across to my locals community, askcharlyleetham.locals.com, and join the conversation there. If this video was useful to you, please give it a like. That would be fantastic. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell so you find out when I drop more content. And I will see you guys all tomorrow. Bye. Hey there, thanks so much for tuning in to Rise and Shine, your daily business tech boost. I hope today's episode gave you some actionable insights that will make your business tech work smarter for you. If you found value, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with other small business owners who could use a daily boost. For more tips, tools, and resources, visit www.askcharlyleetham.com. Until next time, keep rising, keep shining, and let's make tech simple together.